Thank you for watching today, and I'm getting pretty. My daughter's giving me a permanent today. I really needed one so bad. I've always had to have a permanent in my hair because my hair is so straight, and she does a good job, a real good job, and so I'm so thankful she does that for me. In 1942, my oldest sister, Madeline, she went to beauty school in Morgantown, West Virginia, and she got her license. And I remember her, I was just a little girl then, and I remember her coming to Clay, and she set up practice over top of Reed's department store, and permanents for $2.50. I remember that. You get a permanent for $2.50. And Mad worked there for just a little while, maybe just 3-4 months. Wasn't very long until she got her own beauty shop and rented a building right next to a jewelry store. It was the King's Jewelry Store, and there in Clay. She had this, what they called a permanent wave machine, and it stood probably 7 feet tall, and there'd be wires hanging down from it with clamps on the end of it, and it was hooked up to electricity, and those clamps put off heat, a little bit of heat. And how they gave a permanent back then was my sister Madeline would, she put the solution on the hair before we put the hot clamps on, roll the hair up in rollers, and they would put a lot more on the rods than what they do now. You know, now when we give a permanent, we get just a little thin piece to roll your hair, but back then they got probably twice as much hair and put it on a roller. And they put a roller in there, and then they had to put a felt on your head first, but it had a hole in it, and they brought the hair through it, and they rolled that hair on top of that felt. And then when you get you all rolled up with everything, they put you under this machine with all these wires coming down, and they clamp it onto the head, and what it would do, it'd put off a little bit of heat. It put heat enough that steam would come from your hair. And so my job was, I was just a young girl, and a lot of times I would be in my sister's shop, and she'd have me stand there with a fan, fanning the customer sitting there under that permanent wave machine, and she'd get hot because, you know, it was putting off so much heat. And I think she had to sit under there like maybe 20 minutes, and I had to fan her all the time because she was so hot. Then my sister Glady would go work with her, help her do shampoos, and then Glady ended up going to beauty school. And then that encouraged Dorothy, my other sister. She wanted to go to beauty school too, so she went to beauty school and became a beautician. And then Merle lived in Cleveland, Ohio at that time, and she went to beauty school out there. She became a beautician, and she ended up doing a real good business. Merle did. She had a shop and did hair in Cleveland or Burnswick, one or the other. I can't remember. It may have been Burnswick. And anyway, I had 6 sisters, and we were all beauticians except one, Reevy. She never became a hairdresser. She worked at Spencer, at the hospital there in Spencer for years, and then she had a big farm, and she loved to sew and make quilts, but all of us sisters ended up, and then I was a beautician in Melbourne, Florida, and I had my own shop. I did real good. I had three girls working with me, Mary McNew and Rita and Jane Gearhart, and we all worked together so good, and I had a wonderful business. But I didn't go to beauty school though till after my baby was, she was about 6 months old, I think, when I went to beauty school. So I stayed home and took care of my baby's children when they were little, but yeah, we were so hard up back then. Well, we had to bear the necessities. We had enough food to eat and everything, but we never had enough money to buy anything extra, if you know what I mean. So I decided to go to beauty school. I decided I wanted to get out and make some money. Oh, I worked long hours. I'd work 12 hours a lot of days. Beauticians back then had to wear white uniforms. And Madeline, my sister, she would, my other sister, Reevy, she was a seamstress, so she would make the uniforms for my sister, Madeline. And the uniforms fit tight, and they had I remember it was tight around the waist, and it buttoned, and Madeline was skinny anyway, so she had a real narrow waistline, and she always needed a pin, and you had to wear white shoes. I mean, that was just, that was one of the state rules. Beauticians, they had rules that you had to go by in the beauty shop, and that was one of the rules. You had to wear a white uniform and white shoes. I know back in when I had my salon, Perms. Talk about the price a little bit. The price for a perm back in the 70s, the top price was $25, $30, and or $30, either one you wanted to pay. And now I think the prices in beauty salons are a lot higher. Which, you know, everything's higher now. It takes 2 hours. Back then it would take 2 hours to get a perm. And it probably takes that much now to get a perm. Back when I first became when I became a beautician, haircuts were like, I think, $3. Back when I was at Minton's Corner in Melbourne, Florida. And that was 1960, somewhere around 1969. Haircuts was around $3. And by the time I left down there, which I left in 1977, we were charged $5 for haircuts. And then now, here, this is 2024, I think, I don't know, I haven't been to a beauty shop, but I imagine around $15 for a haircut. I'm going to make me a bacon and tomato sandwich today. Lisa has fried the bacon and it looks so good. And I'm going to put a little bit of mayonnaise on here first. Just put a little dab. And put that down. And then let's take a strip of bacon. I like 2 strips. Let's see. I'll take that and then put this strip right in the middle. And tomatoes. Hold on just a minute. Let me get a fork. Oh, good tomato. I like 2 slices on mine. I'll get 2 slices. And I like a little bit of salt on my tomatoes. A little bit of pepper. Put mayonnaise on both slices. Just a little bit on both. Oops. Oh, it may got too much. No. Alrighty, there we go. How curly it is. Lisa gave me a permanent. So happy with it. Thank you, Lisa. And I'll go eat my tomato sandwich. Or you want me to take a bite?
Yeah, take a bite.
Okay. Here we go. Delicious. I want to sit down and enjoy this.